Our modern buildings are absolutely packed with smart devices. But what if all that separate intelligence is actually just creating a bunch of expensive, chaotic noise? Today, we're going to dig into how you can turn that chaos into a perfectly tuned symphony of power. So, let me ask you something. Think about all that high-tech equipment in your facility. You've got the HVAC, the EV chargers, all the production lines. Are they all working together in perfect harmony? Or is it really just, well, expensive noise? This one question gets right to the heart of a huge challenge facing pretty much every facility manager out there today. You see, for decades, utility bills were all about energy. It was simple, your total kilowatt-hour usage over a whole month. But that game has completely changed. Today, the grid and your bill is focused on power. That's your highest peak usage at any single moment, measured in kilowatts. And it's those sudden, brief spikes that are straining the grid and making your electricity costs go through the roof. And this is exactly why those peaks happen. I mean, look at a modern facility. It's filled with these brilliant independent systems, right? The building automation is running the HVAC, the production controls are doing their thing, you have smart energy storage, EV charging platforms, they're all best in class. But here's the kicker, none of them are talking to each other. It's just like having the world's best musicians in an orchestra, but with no conductor to lead them. It's a symphony of chaos. And the result of that beautiful chaos is exactly what we're trying to avoid, these sudden, incredibly expensive power peaks. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? We've got all this advanced technology, and because it's all working in isolation, it's actually creating the very problem we want to solve. So if the problem isn't the musicians, but the lack of coordination, you don't need to replace the instruments. You need to hire a conductor. And that, right there, is where this concept of an orchestration layer, called Watch It, enters the picture. So what is Watch It? Well, think of it not as another instrument trying to play its own solo. Instead, it's this new layer of control that sits above the entire orchestra. It's completely vendor agnostic, so it really doesn't care who made your HVAC or your chargers. Its only job is to see the big picture, to monitor the facility's total power use and coordinate every single system so they all work in perfect harmony with the grid. And this is a really important distinction. This is totally different from the vertical platforms you might already be familiar with. Those solutions are designed to optimize their own specific hardware, usually in smaller setups. Watch It, on the other hand, is designed for the big leagues. It's technology agnostic and built for large facilities, the ones pulling anywhere from 250 amps to several megawatts. It's not about controlling one piece of equipment. It's about controlling the entire facility's behavior. Okay, so let's pop the hood and see how this conductor actually does its job. What's in its toolkit that allows it to create all this harmony? It really comes down to a simple two-step process. First things first, a conductor has to be able to read the music. Watch It gives you this incredible real-time insight by measuring absolutely everything that can affect your power fees. We're talking momentary power, energy flow, voltage, current, even the really complex stuff like reactive energy and harmonics. That's all the wasted energy and electrical noise that can secretly inflate your bill. You get total transparency into what every section of your orchestra is doing at any given moment. But, just seeing the problem isn't enough. A great conductor prevents it from happening in the first place. So here's how it works. First, Watch It is always listening to the building's total power draw. Its AI then predicts when a costly peak is about to happen. Then it waves the baton. It sends out these tiny, precise commands, maybe telling the HVAC to ease up for just a couple of minutes, or slightly slowing down an EV charger. And the result? That peak gets smoothed out and prevented before it ever even hits your meter. It's surgical, it's precise, and it all happens automatically. And how fast does it wave that baton? The system response time is around 200 milliseconds. That is unbelievably fast. To put that in perspective, it can predict a problem and coordinate a solution faster than a human could even notice something was going on. It is truly proactive, not reactive. So, after the conductor has read the score and guided all the musicians, what's the end result? A perfect performance. Let's talk about the real tangible benefits you get from this kind of systemic harmony. And what's really cool is that the benefits are felt all across the board. As you can see, facility owners get the biggest slice of the pie, about 45%, through direct cost savings and just having a clearer picture of their operations. But the grid operators, they win big too, gaining a much more stable and flexible grid. And for the folks who actually install and consult on these systems, it's a powerful new tool to deliver serious value. When the grid gets smarter, everybody wins. Now this is a really clever feature. Watch, it actually lets you rehearse. It has a built-in simulation tool, so you can test out different control strategies and see exactly how they would impact your power costs, all before you actually implement a single thing. It means you can make decisions based on verified data, not just assumptions or a gut feeling.
All right, let's zoom out for a second because this is all part of a much bigger picture. This isn't just about saving money for one facility. It's about fundamentally changing the future of how we control energy.
It all really comes down to this quote, which just nails the shift in thinking. We are moving away from a world of isolated optimization, where every device is just looking out for itself, and we're moving towards systemic power control, where the entire facility acts as one single, cohesive unit that works with the grid, not against it. That's the whole ballgame right there.
Which brings us right back to that first question we asked, but maybe with a bit of a new perspective. A modern facility is already an orchestra, and it's filled with incredibly powerful instruments. So the only question left to ask is it ready to stop making noise and start making music? Is your facility ready to join the orchestra?